If fear has been making decisions for you lately, stop and listen. What you're afraid of does not have final authority over your life. I know what fear does. It wakes you up at 3 a.m. with worst-case scenarios running through your mind. It makes you second-guess decisions you were confident about yesterday. It paralyzes you when you need to move forward. It whispers that the thing you're afraid of is inevitable, unavoidable, already happening. And the exhausting part is not just feeling the fear, it is living under it, organizing your entire life around avoiding what you are afraid might happen. You make decisions based on fear instead of faith. You say no to opportunities because fear says it is too risky. You stay in situations that are not good for you because fear says change is worse. You avoid conversations you need to have because fear says it will go badly. Fear has been functioning like an authority in your life, and today we are removing that authority completely. Let me be clear about something from the start. Fear is not just an emotion you need to manage better. Fear is a spiritual force that operates with strategies, patterns, and assignments. And one of fear's primary strategies is to convince you that it has authority over your future, your decisions, your peace, and your faith. But here is the truth that we are establishing today through Psalm 37 and Psalm 91. Fear is a liar, and it has no authority that you do not give it. When you position yourself under God's authority, fear loses its grip. When you align yourself with truth, fear's lies stop working. When you stand firm in what God says about you, fear's predictions collapse. This is not about pretending you are not afraid. This is about repositioning yourself so that even when fear shows up, it cannot control you. If you are walking through something right now that fear has attached itself to, a health situation, a financial crisis, a relationship problem, a future decision, I want you to drop it in the comments. Let me know what you are facing. There is power in naming it. And I read every comment. Psalm 37 verse 1 says, "Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquity." The word fret here means to burn with anxiety, to be consumed with worry. And notice what triggers the fretting. Seeing people who do wrong apparently succeeding. You see dishonest people prospering. You see manipulative people advancing. You see unjust situations continuing. And fear whispers, if they can get away with that, what does that mean for you? If wrong is winning, how will right ever prevail? But this psalm is telling you, do not let that pattern create fear in you. Do not let what you observe in the short term dictate what you believe about the long term, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. What looks permanent is temporary. What looks powerful is fragile. Grass grows quickly and looks vibrant, but it withers just as fast. People and systems that operate outside of God's order may look strong right now, but they are not sustainable. Your job is not to fear their success. Your job is to trust in the Lord, do good, and feed on his faithfulness. Feeding on faithfulness means you stop feeding fear. You stop consuming worst-case scenarios. You stop replaying everything that could go wrong. You start feeding your mind and spirit with God's faithfulness, reminders of what he has done, evidence of his consistency, testimonies of his provision. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. When you delight in the Lord, when he becomes your source of joy instead of fear being your source of anxiety, something shifts. The desires of your heart align with his will, and he brings them to pass. But notice the process. Delight, commit, trust. You do not get the outcome by obsessing over the outcome. You get the outcome by positioning yourself rightly and letting God work. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. This is critical. Your righteousness, your integrity, your character, your truth will be brought forth as light. It will become visible. It will be undeniable, but it happens in God's timing, not in your panic. Fear wants you to force it, to make it happen now, to prove yourself immediately. But God says, rest and wait patiently. Resting is not passive. Resting is active trust. It is choosing to position yourself under God's authority instead of under fear's pressure. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret. It only causes harm. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Fretting causes harm. Anxiety damages you. Fear wears you down. It does not protect you. It does not prepare you. It harms you. And the antidote is waiting on the Lord. Not waiting passively, but waiting actively. Staying positioned, staying aligned, staying faithful while God works. Let me teach you something about how fear actually operates. Fear functions by predicting the future negatively, and then convincing you that its prediction is inevitable. Fear says, this is going to fail, and then it makes you behave as if failure is certain. Fear says, you are going to lose this, and then it makes you act from a place of loss. Fear says, this will go wrong, and then it makes you prepare for disaster instead of trusting for breakthrough. But here is what you need to understand. Fear's predictions are not prophecies. They are just fears, and you do not have to agree with them. When fear predicts disaster, you can choose to align with what God says instead. When fear says it is hopeless, you can choose to feed on faithfulness. When fear says you are powerless, you can choose to position yourself under God's authority. I have seen this pattern before. People who let fear make their decisions end up in the very situations they were trying to avoid. Fear of rejection makes them push people away. Fear of failure makes them quit before they even start. Fear of loss makes them hold on too tightly and lose anyway. But people who refuse to let fear have authority, they move differently. They make decisions based on truth, not on terror. They step forward even when afraid. They trust God's timing even when it feels slow, and they end up in places fear said they could never reach. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. What you fear will not last. What threatens you is temporary. What intimidates you will not remain. You will look for it, and it will be gone. But you, the one who stays positioned under God, the one who refuses to let fear have authority, you will inherit peace, not anxiety, not terror, peace, abundant peace. The wicked plots against the just and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. While you are afraid of what your enemies might do, God is laughing at them because he sees their end. He knows their schemes will fail. He knows their plots will backfire. He knows their day of accountability is coming. So why would you let fear of them control you when God is not even concerned about them? The wicked have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. The weapons formed against you will not prosper. The plans made to harm you will fail. The attacks launched at you will reverse. This is not you seeking revenge. This is divine justice operating according to spiritual law. When people attack the upright without cause, their attacks backfire. You do not have to make that happen. You just have to stay upright and let God handle the rest. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. Better to have little with peace than much with fear. Better to have less with God's presence than more with anxiety. The righteous are upheld. You are not holding yourself together. God is holding you. And what God holds does not fall. The Lord knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. When difficult times come, and they will come, you will not be ashamed. When scarcity hits, and it will hit, you will be satisfied. Not because you stockpiled, or because you panicked, but because God knows your days and secures your inheritance. Psalm 91 shifts the focus from fear of external circumstances to confidence in divine covering. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. This is where fear loses authority, in the secret place, not in public performance, not in frantic activity, in the place of intimacy with God, where you stop running and start resting. When you dwell there, you abide under His shadow, and under His shadow, fear cannot reach you. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. Truth is your shield, not denial, not distraction. Truth. When fear lies to you, truth shields you. When fear predicts disaster, truth protects you. When fear says you are powerless, truth reminds you whose you are. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. This covers every form of fear. Terror by night, anxiety that attacks when you are alone, arrow by day, sudden problems during normal life, pestilence in darkness, hidden threats you cannot see, destruction at noonday, public crises everyone can see. All of it. You shall not be afraid, not because the threats are not real, but because you are covered, and what is covered is protected. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Fear wants you to believe that if others are falling, you will too. If disaster is happening around you, it will happen to you. But this psalm says, no, you will see it happening around you, but it will not come near you, because you are not positioned where they are positioned. You are under divine covering, and that changes everything, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High your habitation. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. Notice the word because. This is conditional. It is not automatic for everyone. It is for those who have made the Lord their dwelling place. When you dwell in fear, fear has authority. When you dwell in the Lord, fear loses authority. The choice of where you dwell determines what has access to you. For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Angels are assigned to you, not someday, right now. They are keeping you. They are bearing you up. They are ensuring you do not stumble. And you are treading on the very things you were afraid of, not running from them, not being controlled by them, treading on them. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is God speaking. Because you have set your love on him, he delivers you. Because you have known his name, he sets you on high. He answers when you call. He is with you in trouble. He delivers and honors you. This is not contingent on your perfection. This is based on your positioning. And when you are positioned rightly, fear has no authority over your life. Father, I come to you now on behalf of every person battling fear. I ask that you remove fear's authority over their decisions, their peace, their faith, their future. Let them see clearly that fear is a liar. Let them recognize that fear's predictions are not prophecies. Let them reposition themselves under your authority so that even when fear shows up, it cannot control them. Deliver them from the terror by night, the arrow by day, the pestilence in darkness, the destruction at noonday. Cover them with your feathers. Shield them with your truth. Let angels keep them in all their ways. Remove what does not belong. Restore what was shaken. Bring clarity where there has been confusion. I speak to the person afraid of a health diagnosis. You have been living in fear of what the tests might show, what the doctor might say, what the prognosis might be. Fear has been controlling your thoughts, your emotions, your peace. But fear has no authority over your health. God does. Position yourself under his authority. Trust his covering. Feed on his faithfulness. And let peace replace the pressure you have been carrying. I speak to the person afraid of financial collapse. You have been watching your bank account, calculating worst-case scenarios, losing sleep over how you will make it. Fear has been functioning like a financial advisor, and its advice has been terrible. But God is your provider, not fear. And when you position yourself under his provision, fear loses its authority over your finances. Rest in him. Wait patiently. Watch him bring it to pass. I speak to the person afraid of relational loss. You're afraid someone is going to leave, someone is going to reject you, someone is going to choose someone else over you. And that fear is making you behave in ways that push people away. Fear is controlling how you communicate, how you connect, how you love. But fear has no authority over your relationships. God does. Trust him with the people he has given you. Rest in his faithfulness. Let go of the need to control outcomes and watch him restore what fear tried to destroy. I speak to the person afraid of failure. You have an opportunity in front of you, but fear is telling you that you will fail. You are not capable. You do not have what it takes. And fear's voice has been louder than faith's voice. But fear is a liar. It has no authority over your calling. God does. He equipped you. He positioned you. He will sustain you. Step forward even though you are afraid. Move even though fear is talking. And watch fear lose its authority as you walk in obedience. Some of you are dealing with fears I have not named yet. Fear of the future, fear of being alone, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of what people think. Whatever your specific fear is, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you are facing so I can pray specifically for you. I decree that fear's authority over your life is broken right now. Every prediction fear made, cancelled. Every lie fear told, exposed. Every decision fear controlled, reversed. You are repositioning yourself under God's authority, and from that position, fear cannot dominate you. You may feel fear, but fear will not lead you. You may hear fear, but fear will not direct you. You may encounter fear, but fear will not control you. I decree that clarity is replacing confusion. You are going to see situations more clearly. You are going to understand what is actually happening instead of what fear says is happening. You are going to make decisions based on truth instead of terror. Clarity is coming, and with clarity comes confidence. I decree that peace is replacing pressure. The weight you have been carrying because of fear is lifting. The anxiety that has been stealing your sleep is leaving. The panic that has been controlling your emotions is being removed. Peace that passes understanding is settling over you right now. I decree that truth is rising in your life. What fear obscured, truth is revealing. What fear distorted, truth is correcting. What fear predicted, truth is disproving. Truth is your shield, and that shield is active right now, protecting you from fear's lies. I speak peace over your mind. Thoughts that have been racing with fear, settle now. Worst-case scenarios that have been consuming you, release now. Predictions of disaster that have been tormenting you, stop now. Your mind is covered, and fear has no authority over your thoughts. I speak peace over your decisions. You do not have to make choices from a place of fear anymore. You can decide based on faith. You can move forward based on truth. You can choose based on God's leading, not fear's pressure. Wisdom is being released to you right now for every decision you need to make. I speak peace over your future. The things you are afraid might happen do not have authority over what will actually happen. God holds your future, not fear, and what God holds is secure. Your future is not defined by fear's predictions. It is defined by God's promises. Trust that. Rest in that. Move forward in that. I also want to address the person who has let fear stop them from pursuing what God called them to do. You had a dream, a vision, a calling, but fear convinced you it was too risky, too difficult, too late, too impossible. And you stopped. You gave up. You let fear win. But it is not too late. Fear's authority over your calling is being broken right now. What God called you to do is still valid. The assignment is still active. The anointing is still there. Step back into it. Move toward it. Trust God with it. And watch fear lose its grip as you walk in obedience. I speak to the person whose fear has damaged relationships. You have pushed people away because you were afraid of being hurt. You have sabotaged connections because fear said they would not last. You have isolated yourself because fear said it was safer alone. But fear is a liar, and it has cost you relationships that mattered. God is restoring what fear destroyed. Reconnect where He leads. Rebuild where He prompts. Trust Him with the people He brings back into your life. I speak to the person paralyzed by fear of making the wrong decision. You have been stuck for months, maybe years, because you are afraid to choose. Every option feels risky. Every path seems uncertain. And so you have chosen nothing, which is also a choice to let fear decide for you. But God is giving you clarity right now. He is removing the fog fear created. He is showing you the next step. You do not need to see the whole path. You just need to see the next step. Take it, move, trust, and watch fear's paralysis break as you move forward in faith. I decree that you walk in freedom from fear starting today. Not freedom from ever feeling afraid, but freedom from being controlled by fear. You are no longer making decisions based on what you are afraid of. You are making decisions based on what you believe God is saying. You are no longer organizing your life around avoiding fear. You are organizing your life around obeying God. And that shift changes everything. If this prayer has helped you see fear differently, if you can sense fear losing its grip, let me know in the comments what you are believing God for. What fear are you refusing to let control you anymore? What decision are you making from faith instead of fear? Your declaration strengthens your faith. I decree that angels are active around you right now. They are keeping you in all your ways. They are bearing you up. They are ensuring you do not stumble. They are treading on the very things you were afraid of. Angelic protection is not someday, it is now. I decree that God's presence is with you in every situation fear attached itself to. In the health crisis, He is there. In the financial struggle, He is there. In the relational tension, He is there. In the future uncertainty, He is there. You are not facing any of it alone. And His presence removes fear's authority. I also want to speak to those carrying fear for loved ones. You are not just afraid for yourself. You are afraid for your children, your spouse, your parents, your friends. You lie awake worrying about their safety, their choices, their futures. That vicarious fear is heavy, and it is consuming you. But you cannot control their lives, and fear knows that. Fear uses your love for them as a weapon against your peace. But here is the truth. God loves them more than you do, and He is with them when you cannot be. Release them into His hands. Pray for them, support them, guide them where you can, but refuse to let fear of what might happen to them steal your peace today. Trust God with the people you love, and let that trust displace the fear you have been carrying. I speak to the person whose fear is rooted in past trauma. Something happened to you that created deep fear, and that fear has been running your life ever since. You have organized everything around avoiding a repeat of that pain. You have built walls to keep people out. You have limited yourself to keep safe. You have said no to opportunities to avoid risk. But past trauma does not have to dictate future choices. What happened to you was real, and the fear that came from it is understandable. But God is healing that trauma, and as healing happens, fear loses its power. You are safe with God even when the world feels unsafe. You are protected by Him even when past experiences taught you that protection is not reliable. Trust His healing. Let Him restore what trauma stole. and watch fear's grip loosen as you step into the freedom he is offering. I speak to the person whose fear manifests as control. You try to control everything and everyone around you because fear says if you do not control it, it will go wrong. But control is exhausting, and it does not actually eliminate fear. It just masks it temporarily. And the people you are trying to control are suffering under the weight of your fear-driven need for order. But God is inviting you to release control and trust Him instead. He is more capable than you are. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. And He can handle what you have been trying to control. Let go, release the grip, trust Him, and watch peace replace the exhaustion that comes from trying to manage everything. I speak to the person whose fear has created physical illness. Your body is responding to chronic fear with real symptoms, digestive issues, autoimmune flare-ups, chronic pain, high blood pressure, heart palpitations. Fear is not just a mental or spiritual issue, it is affecting your physical health. But as fear loses its spiritual authority, your body will respond. Healing is available not just for your mind and spirit, but for your body. As you position yourself under peace, your physical symptoms will decrease. As you align with truth, your body will calm. As you dwell in God's presence, health will be restored. Your body was designed to function under peace, not panic. And as you reclaim peace, your body will return to proper function. I also decree breakthrough for the person who has lived with fear so long they do not remember what peace feels like. Fear has been your normal for so long that you cannot imagine life without it. You think this is just who you are, but fear is not your identity. Peace is your inheritance. You were created for rest, not terror, for confidence, not confusion, for faith, not fear. And today, you are being reintroduced to who you actually are apart from fear. This may feel unfamiliar at first. Peace may seem strange because you are so used to anxiety, but lean into it, trust it, let it become your new normal. You are being restored to who God created you to be before fear told you who you had to become. Stand firm. Fear has no authority over your life. God does. Position yourself under Him. Feed on His faithfulness. Rest in His promises. Move in His leading. And watch fear lose its grip. Thank you for standing with me through this prayer. If fear no longer has authority over you, type fearless in the comments. Stay aware. Authority must be exercised. In Jesus' name, Amen.